Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is an SU-26. It's a Tier 3 Soviet SPG and it's located on the south spawn of Abbey. Is it the south spawn or north spawn? Actually, I think it's the north spawn actually, for that matter. But it's under the command of HouseofChaos. Now, this tank is also known as the Popcorn Catapult of Doom. They built 14 of these in the city of Leningrad during the siege by the Germans. It's got a 76mm gun and it's built on the chassis of the T-26, which is the Vickers 6-ton tank. A tank that was actually made independently by Vickers, but not adopted by the British Army, but adopted for the chassis by many other armed forces around the world. Now, many varieties of the Vickers tank appeared, and you'll see that famous chassis on many different tanks. But this particular tank, I say 14 of them were built. There are some suggestions that more were built, but they were built during the siege of Leningrad, and they were converted tanks. You can see it's got a red line there, HouseofChaos, so hasn't fired because it might actually hit that building. Now you've got 48 rounds of ammunition. It's actually quite a quick loader and quick firer, but it's a very slow tank to move about. And it's one of the few Artys that has a turret that will turn all the way around. So you don't actually have to move the vehicle to fire in all directions. You can just turn the turret. Unfortunately, at the moment, the reason why we're not firing is because there are lots of obstructions in the way. But there's a medium tank number 3, fire a round in, and we're a long way away from him. Ah, that's better. We can see him now. Round out. Good hit. 117 hit points. 76mm shell. Can do a fair bit of damage. Oh, that one fell short. But he'll quickly reload. We can shoot another one. And round out. No, it's going to fall short. Going for the MTLS instead. Lined up. Yep. Nice aim. Good hit. 41 hit points. It's pulling back. Can get another shot. Round out. No, he's pulled away. Can get a shot on that medium 3. Can finish him off. Round out. Yes! First kill. 25 hit points. Now that Keeney's coming up round the corner. There he is. Oh, it's the MTLS has come back. And that's another hit. 24 hit points. In fact, he's getting hit from multiple directions now. Round out. Just fell short. Line it up. Dialed in the aim. And there's the Keeney. Okay, we're switching targets. We're dialed in. Unfortunately, the Keeney's behind the rocks. Line him up. Round out. Oh no, hit the rock face. Need to get a shot in quick. Oh, the enemy's gone down. We've fired at the MTLS instead, who's tracked. And the other Artys are firing in as quickly as they can. We fire another round in, and that one works. That's the second kill. 46 hit points. But it looks like the enemy now has the west side of the map, and we moved position because I think that the enemy worked out where we were. Either that or they had spotters who were looking for us. It's a T-29 on the east side of the map. He's in the River Road. I think they're going to pull back a bit and try and get shots on them as they approach. Oh, there's the Keeney, the one that we fired at earlier. It's coming down. We're not going to get a shot on him here because the ground's in the way, or the rock's in the way. He's in a dip. So we're going to have to wait until he comes up onto the cap area. We can't fire at the 127 because the rock's in the way. No, that's still not going to help with the 127. And the Keeney's gone down. Now, if we're going to fire at that 127, we're going to have to move further to the west. Yeah, that rock face is in the way. Okay, we're repositioning. That's a bit better, but the 127's now disappeared. He's gone back, but we might still be able to get him. He's still within range. It's just we've lost sight of him now. No, nobody in range. Now we have got a Valentine anti-tank guarding the entrance to the east side. And a Toldy's appeared. He's on the west side. And he's poked his head up to see where everyone is. He's probably spotted where the SU-26 is. And yes, he did. And the Sexton dialed in around and fired. So she was seen. And she's pulled back behind the rock face to avoid any further fire. Oh, there was another round just went in there. In fact, we've got a Chi-Ha behind us now. Dialing in on Chi-Ha. Good hit! And he's taken down immediately afterwards. You can see the Sexton still trying to get us. Now, we probably need to reposition all together now. And I think that's what House of Chaos is going to do. We need to find other cover because I think the Sexton really does know where we are. And he's going to keep trying until he gets some success. But now we've moved to a new position. It would be a waste of him every time he fires a shell into that previous position. It's just a complete waste for him. Now we're 2 tanks down on the enemy at the moment. They've still got 3 Arty. We've only got 1. Which kind of suggests that the enemy may have been good with their counter battery. They've got a Bison, a Sexton and a T-18 HMC. Well, only the Sexton and T-18 could actually fire this far. So it was probably those two. In fact, the Sexton's got 1 kill. T-18 hasn't got any kills. Okay, there's a T-127 at the gates on the River Road. But I think what House of Chaos is doing is guarding the other side at the moment because she's expecting somebody to come up from that direction. And remember that the enemy does have several other tanks. They have a Panzer 38T, an IKV-72, and the IKV-72 has 3 kills already. My suspicion is that those are probably tanks that went into the centre of the map. And the T-127's gone down, so that's one tank back. Now House of Chaos has 2 kills already. And so do all her teammates actually at the moment. All the living teammates, that is. Now as you can see, there's the chassis of the T-26 tank. It's actually the Vickers 6-ton tank. It's the same design. The Soviets liked the design because it's very simple to make. And therefore they converted the design into the T-26. Okay. Taking up position on this corner. As you can see, it's a turret literally mounted on the back of the tank. And the troops that were servicing the Arty would actually stand at the back on the ground, and they basically got the vehicle up front, and you can see the driver would sit in that little square housing on the actual chassis. He'd sit inside the vehicle whilst the crew would actually clamber onto the thing at the back. Okay, now House of Chaos is aiming down the River Road. Oh, there's an enemy. It's the Sexton 2, the one that hit her. Round out. Oh, narrowly missed her. Round out. That's a kill shot. Lovely. 59 hit points. That's payback for hitting her earlier in the game. So she lost 19 hit points to that Sexton, but she got 59 back in response. Yeah, karma can be a bitch sometimes. Right, we've got the MTLS running ahead of us, but with 1 tank down at the moment. That's the bit of the problem. The Valentine's staying behind to guard our camp. House of Chaos has now got 3 kills. So if she can get another 3 of these, then that will be a top gun. Now she's taking up a position From here, she can actually hit the enemy cap. There's one of the enemy, and that's the dangerous one, the IKV-72. She fires around him where she thinks he's going to go, but he's still retreating. Is he going to stop and try and defend? I think he'll try and stop. Round out. Oh, and there's the other two. It's the Panzer 38T. We can hit him. Oh, big hit. 202. He's trying to defend the cap. Oh, it goes long. She anticipated he was going to keep going. He didn't. Line up the shot. Round out. And she gets the kill shot. Now, the Bison and the IKV-72. Well, the Bison's got very few hit points left. Can she get him? There's the T-18. She wipes out the IKV-72. That's her 5th kill. Going for the T-18. Oh, just misses him. And the T-18's gone down. Where's the Bison? If she can get this one. Oh, she got him! That wins the game. Gets her a Top Gun. Brilliant shot. Blind shot at that. It was hiding behind the rock. She worked out where he was and won the game. Let's have a look at the end of battle stats. It's an ace tanker for House of Chaos in the SU-26, the Tier 3 Soviet SPG. She managed to get a Bruiser medal as well for getting at least 5 critical hits. She got 10 critical hits in that one. And she got a Top Gun for getting at least 6 kills. And she got the 6th kill with the last shot of the game. Beautiful. Let's have a look at the team score. Well, she got the highest damage in the game overall. She doesn't get the high caliber because she wasn't over 1,000 hit points. You have to get that in order to get the high caliber. But she did get 696 hit points of damage in that game. High score. Next highest score was the MTLS with 573. And then we had the Type 2597, the Chiha. He managed to get 432 on the enemy team. When it came to kills, it was definitely House of Chaos with the highest amount. 6 kills, double the highest score on her own team. The MTLS, who managed to get 3, and then there's a couple of vehicles managed to get 2. The IKV-72 on the enemy team managed to get 3, but was no match to House of Chaos. Once she zeroed in on him, it was game over for him too. So let's have a look at the base XP. Well, she didn't get the highest base XP. That went to the MTLS. He managed to get 772, but House of Chaos managed to get 576, and that was enough for an ace because the SU-26 is not a highly played Arty. So if you want to get an ace tanker, this is one to get it in. It's got a fast firing gun, as you can see there, but you need to be accurate with it. And it takes a bit of practice, but once you can actually play it well, it's actually quite a fun one to play with. When it came to the next high scorer, it was the MTLS, managed 517 base experience points. Let's have a look at detail. She fired 23 rounds during that battle. She got 11 direct hits, 11 penetration, 2 splash. Damage of 696 hit points, of which 627 were at more than 300 meters. She received 4 hits as a result of splash damage, and those were from the Sexton too. She damaged 7 of the enemy, killed 6 of them, and on a premium account, she earned 15,249 credits. After repair and ammunition resupply, and the shells are incredibly cheap. She still had 14,178 credits. She receives 864 XP times 2 for the first victory of the day. Took away 1,728 experience points altogether. So a very nice round there by House of Chaos. Thanks for sending that in. Yes, it's called the Popcorn Catapult of Doom. Apparently, it hasn't got much in the way of punch, but it can play very well. So if you enjoyed this replay, please give it a like and do subscribe to our channel, and hopefully it'll be your replay that I'll be featuring in the next video.